Everybody, hope everything's going well for you all. Just a short video here on my scissor jack, which I thoroughly recommend as a very useful tool for working on your bikes. It's a very capable tool, to be honest. I'm quite impressed with this jack. Weighs in at about 14 kg, so it's reasonably solid unit. The steel is a pretty heavy gauge, and it's got a lifting capacity of around about 500 kgs, which is very impressive for the size of this unit. A feature which I quite like is when it's totally flattened down, it's only around about 8.5 centimeters high off the ground, and that is really useful for me because when I want to put my XL 250 degree onto this scissor jack, the scissor jack is when it's fully lowered is just a little bit too tall to slide straight under the frame of the bike. So what I'm going to be doing now is I can use my new scissor jack to just roll the front wheel over it, quite easy I imagine, and then I can just lift the scissor jack enough so that I can then slide this large scissor jack just straight under the frame of my XL 250 degree, and that'll make it a lot easier for me to do this little lift. Otherwise, at the moment, I have to physically lift the bike up a couple of inches to get it onto this onto the bed here of my scissor jack, and this bike is quite heavy for lifting. Another feature I like about the scissor jack here is it comes with this nice little box spanner. Makes it really easy to wind it up and lower it down again. It's a 22mm bolt on here that runs on the screw. So also I found it a lot faster just to stick my impact on it with a 22 socket, and then you can lift it up and lower it down pretty fast. But the little hand box spanner is fine also. So yeah, I'm very impressed with it. When it's got a full height of around about 35 centimeters, which, to be honest, for most motorbikes will get the wheels off the ground. Good for your maintenance, them on your maybe on your axles or your sprockets or your chain, front and rear brakes, front wheel as well off the ground, also with my rear wheel of course. And it will lift most bikes that we can that we'd have for that little maintenance job where you want to get it off the stand. Especially for dirt bikes, we don't have a center stand like you have on a lot of road bikes, so it's just going to be a very useful tool. I've been looking at these for quite a while, and I decided to pull the trigger and get it, and yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm sure I'm going to be able to get plenty of use out of it. Another good feature is the rubber mat, if you like, which is bonded to the top, just making it a little bit more non-slip, if you like, for the frame of the bike, so it shouldn't fall off. It feels very secure. I'm pretty happy to be working with it. I don't think it's going to fall over. This is just my little 250, my little CRF 230F. So I lifted this up without any trouble at all, to be honest. I haven't tried it yet on my XR 250R. Yeah, sadly the 250R is going off to her new owner shortly. So I've only got this now for a few more days before he's going to pick her up. So yeah, a bit of a sad sort of a time. Had a nice ride on it in the weekend, and sort of almost like the last ride. I shall miss the bike, but it's time to pass it on to another custodian, if you like. I'm sure over time these 1990 models will appreciate and value also, especially this one. I have cared for it, and it is a good original bike with everything still still there, so it's going to be a fairly easy bike for somebody to do a restoration on if they wanted to. So there you go, guys. This is the little scissor jack. Not a bad price, you know, in New Zealand dollars, around about that $70. As I say, it's, you know, fairly affordable for the use that you get out of it, that's for sure. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to really thank all of you that have subscribed to my small channel. Finally reaching 1,000 subscribers, so really happy about that, and I do thank you very much for your support. Haven't been doing many videos, as you know, just recently, just been really tied up with work, and I haven't really made any videos on it, but I shall do when I get a little bit more time. But this jolly C180 has been taking so much of my time recently because it failed the waff on these rear bushes. Bit hard to see with the video here, but that's the rear swing arm on the right hand side. They have an inner bush and an outer bush, and they are a bear to remove and replace. But I've done it on both sides of the car, and didn't make a video on doing that, but I may do in the future, because I don't feel like lifting it up again now just to get the video. But yeah, it took me a few weekends, to be honest. It is doable, but I had to use my press here and also my bush removal tool here. So I may do a sort of a step-by-step video for anybody interested in the Mercedes W203 chassis C180, replacing bushes on the rear swing arms. I haven't heard of them being a common wear point on those cars, but anyway, when I went for my latest WAF, they knocked it back on the warm bushes. The parts weren't too expensive. The inner bushes cost me around about, I think it was $60 for the pair, New Zealand, and then for the outer ones, which are about 48 millimeters long and 40 mils in diameter with a 14 mil hole for the bolt, they cost me $130 New Zealand for the pair. And then the rest of it was just labor, hours and hours of trying to get the old ones out. They were so tight, and pressing the new ones in wasn't too bad, but the alignment of it is really critical before you start pressing, to make sure you've got the new bush completely lined up so that you don't get it jammed in on an angle, which means you got to then push it back out again and start all over, and there's always the risk of damaging the bush as well if that happens. So anyway, this video is really about my scissor jack, which I am thoroughly happy with, and I would recommend this jack to anybody that is thinking about it. I know it's a reasonable amount of money, the $70, but I think you wouldn't regret the purchase after using it for a lot of little jobs that you can imagine on your bikes. I'm even thinking that it's going to be quite useful just for storage, because by having the bike completely vertical, it means I can stack it up nicely against my degree here, and it gives me enough room in my garage to bring the car in against them. Whereas if you have it on an angle with the side stand, it does tend to take up a little bit more floor space. So there you go, everybody. Thank you very much for taking the time to view this, and once again, I do hope you're all doing well, and I'll catch you later on in another video. Bye for now.